All right. So I'm trying multi-streaming. So hopefully this shows up both on Kick and YouTube. So this is my test. All right. It does look like it's showing up on both, which is awesome. All right, time to continue working on all this stuff. So, all right, let's open up Cursor. Okay, control and control. There. Let's go back to the API. Blah, 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 blah. You know, it'd be nice if there was a shortcut for me to close like everything. It's not necessary per se, but it'd be nice. Oh, wait, hold up, hold up. Is my kick stream working? Hold up, hold up. Let me see. Okay, it does look like it's working. It's just because, oh, it's because I wasn't on both screens. Like it's a issue where I see. Okay, that's okay. That's okay. Let's continue with our migration. Kinesis v2. Uh, can you find all the locations where the our svelte code where we reference the I bet you this one's an easy one to get rid of. Endpoint. You know, it's not a soda time now, but I think tea would be nice. I don't normally drink tea. I guess I'll make some. My puppy wants to go out to the park so badly, but like, that's not time yet. We go out later. Okay. Ba 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 ba. I need me my waters. My waters. Move, 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 move. It's okay, buddy. He's a good boy. I probably just need two, right? 230? 230. 230. 230. Okay. Okay. Deprecate this. I mean, we don't have to delete things. I don't know. I don't know. So I think the first functionality we probably want to do is a create page. Probably want an endpoint for that. Okay. So we do have the queuing system that exists for us that we might need to rebuild in Rust, which I guess is okay. Yeah, I guess that's probably what's next, right? Build the queuing system. Well, as it pertains to the creation of pages. Well, okay. I guess the first thing really is to add a UI for creating a page. That's probably what makes sense, right? Not a UI, but like add a page that tells you how to create pages. America. America. Shut. All right. So I'll let this run for a little bit. In the meantime, I will shill out on Twitter or wherever the hell else. So here's a question. So I do want to grow the stream, of course, from 0 followers to like, I don't know, 1 would be nice. That'd be cool. Um, so it seems like TikTok and YouTube Shorts are something I should probably do then. Uh, but um, but Hacker News actually. But I don't know. I don't like these like short-term video formats. I feel like they're addicting to people. Let's read this article. Good journalism, blah, 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 blah. Good journalism is making sure that history is actively captured and appropriately described and assessed, and it's accurate to describe things as they are alarming, as they currently are alarming. And I am alarmed. Alarm is not a state of weakness, belligerence, or myopia. My concern does not dull my vision, even though it's convenient to frame it as somehow alarmist, like I have some hidden agenda or bias towards doom. I profoundly dislike financial waste, the environmental destruction, and fundamentally I dislike the attempt to gaslight people into swearing fealty to a sick and frail pseudo industry where everybody but NVIDIA and consultancies lose money. So this is just like what their disclaimer. It's like I'm gonna talk shit about like the AI stuff, which there's plenty of shit to be talked, but this is just their disclaimer to be like, oh, this is why I'm doing this stuff. And it says I also dislike the fact that I and others like me are held to a remarkably different standards compared to the optimists. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, critics are people don't like that. um, because they're like that makes sense. I mean, people of course do that when there's money to be made. Um, I'm not doing this for clicks, so this is like more just fucking like tell me what you want to say in this article. Like you don't gotta give me 50 million caveats. Though I mean, like I guess like here's the thing, like the people who you're targeting. Well, okay, maybe I'm wrong about that. I was gonna say the people who you're targeting for these caveats don't care. They're gonna say it anyways. Um, but there's something to be said about the people in the middle. Okay. Nevertheless, I am alarmed, and while I have said some of these things separately based on recent developments, I think it's necessary to say why. In short, I believe the AI bubble is deeply unstable, built on vibes and blind faith. And when I say AI bubble, I mean the entirety of the AI trade. Um, Yeah, there's actually, I feel like, quite a bit of talk about there being a bubble with AI. Like, there's a lot of people making the comparison to, like, the dot-com crash. Um, so, I mean, like, I don't disagree that things are probably overvalued right now. Um, I'm not like somebody who's like, I'm not a finance bro. I don't know, like, all the details behind everything related to trades and all that sorts of kind of stuff. But it does seem a bit overhyped, and that overhype probably impacts stock prices and asset prices, and that makes there being a bubble. I do think AI is likely to be, well, it's not just likely, it is transformative, but it's transformative in the long term. Um, so, because it's transformative in the long term, like, people are like front loading that now, and that's creating a bubble. And it's alarmingly simple too, but this isn't going to be saccharine, whiny, or simply worrisome. It's ridiculous not to see that we're in a bubble. So this is him venting his frustration. We're in a goddamn bubble. It's so obvious we're in a bubble. It's been so obvious we're in a bubble. A bubble seems strong, but is actually a very weak with a central point of failure. A bubble that seems strong, but is actually weak with a central point of failure. This guy is pissed. I may not be a contrarian, but I am a hater. I love the vibe. No, I don't love the vibe. I hate the waste, the loss, the destruction, the theft, the damage to our planet, and the sheer excitement that some executives and writers have placed that have workers may be replaced by AI, and the bald faced fucking lie that it's happening, and that generative AI is capable of doing so. All right, this guy's angry. Um, I guess I have like my immediate thought, and this is just more of a reaction than anything else, is generally speaking, I don't think that I don't know when there's a problem that this is the right way to react to it. Um, and there's something about the personalities of people that react this way. Um, and not necessarily with the emotion even in the TED or the article, but there's something about the way that this about this reaction that rubs me wrong. And then the next thing I want to say is that generally people who do have this kind of reaction also rub me. There's something personality-wise that rubs me wrong. So I guess we're just gonna have to deal with that for the rest of this article. And so I present to you The Hater's Guide to the AI Bubble, a comprehensive rundown of arguments I have against the current AI boom's existence. Send it to your friends, your loved ones, or print it out and eat it. Beautiful. No, this isn't going to be a traditional guide. At some point you can say, oh, that's why the AI bubble. So this is still like intro stuff. I'm tired of reading people talk about how we're living in the era of agents that don't fucking work and will never fucking work. I'm tired of hearing about powerful AI that is actually crap. I'm tired of being told the future is here while having the world's least useful, most expensive cloud software shoved down my throat. Damn. Look, the generative AI boom is a mirage. It hasn't got the revenue or the returns or the product efficacy for it to matter. Everything you're seeing is ridiculous and wasteful. And when it all goes tits up, I want you to remember that I wrote this and tried to say something. Something about this rubs me the wrong way. I want you to remember that I wrote this and tried to say something. As I write this, NVIDIA stock is currently sitting at $170 a share. Dramatic reversal of fate after the pummeling it took from the DeepSeek situation in January, which sent it tumbling to a brief uh, late April trip below $100. Mag 7 stocks, 35% of the stock market, which, like, yeah, this seems odd to me. I mean, like, what do you mean by 35% of the value of the stock market? I'm talking about like market capitalization here. Like, is this like the S&P 500 or is this the value of the U.S. stock market? Uh, because like you do like Pareto distributions are a thing. Though it's probably not Pareto. This is just like a natural result of entropy maximization with a limited pool of resources. It's exponential, not Pareto. Um, but okay, whatever. But Nvidia's market value makes up okay about 19% of the Mag 7. Not 19% of the stock market. I was gonna lose my shit if that was the case. Yep, Mag 7 is certainly part of their environment plans. Yep, yep, yep. Microsoft, Amazon, Meta are alone make up 42% of Nvidia's revenue. Holy shit. So how many companies is this? One, two, three, four, five. Five companies make up all the revenue. I mean, that's not horrible. Um, I guess what they're going to say is that if these companies go down for whatever reason, then Nvidia naturally goes down. Meta spends 25% of its capital expenditures on Nvidia chips. Holy shit! That's okay. Oh, it's capital expenditures. Okay. Microsoft alarming 47. Like this could be some kind of accounting trick. I don't doubt it though. Well, sorry. This is one of those things where there's always some caveat in the detail behind when they say 25% of capital expenditure. There's always some caveat detail that I don't know about. All right. Microsoft also spends its money renting servers from CoreWeave, uh, which analysts blah 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 accounts for 8 billion, 6% of Nvidia's revenue. Yep, 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 10%. NVIDIA's climbing stock value comes from its continued revenue growth. Yeah, I wonder what the DCF analysis of NVIDIA stock says about like its future revenue. Like, let's say, so we can do this backwards a little bit. So let's say that we had I don't know if you guys know what DCF is. DCF is a way that you can evaluate the price of stocks, essentially. um, what the price of stocks should be. And I'm wondering, and what you do is you basically take in the future, I forget, cash flow, I think is the right term for it. You take in the future cash flow of the company, and then you look at the value of that money, which is in the future, to today, and you use that to build a DCF analysis for it. So I'm wondering if we were to take NVIDIA's current stock price, what the DCF would say about the expected future earnings. Just like, yeah. NVIDIA has seen year-over-year growth of 101, 97, 78, and 69%. And in the last quarter, a little statistic was carefully brushed over under the rug. NVIDIA missed, though narrowly, GPUs are used in servers rather than gaming consoles and PCs. This category, that. In any case, it was a miss. GPUs that are only used in servers. So it missed its data center revenue targets for GPUs that are in servers. Okay. NVIDIA's quarter-over-quarter growth has become aggressively normal. Oh, so this is more of a this is less technical. This is more about stocks. At least this section is. Uh, from 69% to 59 to 12 to 12 each quarter, which again isn't bad. It's pretty good. But when 80% of your revenue, when 90% practically of your revenue is based on one particular line in your earnings, it's a pretty big fucking concern. Yeah. Yep. NVIDIA relies on selling lots of GPUs. It must always sell next GPUs. Yeah. So like the current price is based on an expectation of growth because of historical growth patterns, and people overhype things when the historical growth patterns are super high. So of course, this makes sense. Um, okay. Yep. A lot of it comes from there. Hyperscaler purchases. I'm assuming this is referencing the servers, right? Hyperscaler. What's that word mean again? Yeah, hyperscaler. Hype word. Okay. Yeah. There is no AI trade because generative AI is not making anybody money. The hollow AI trade. I'm so tired of people telling me they're going to make tons of money on AI. Nobody's making a profit on generative AI, and no, other than Nvidia. And no, I'm being serious. Yep, So this is a big number here. The Magnificent Sevens. I want to speak this like the capital bold stuff makes it sound to my head. The Magnificent Seven's AI story is flawed, with $560 billion of capex between 2024 and 2025, leading to 35 billion of revenue and no profit. Holy shit. Wait, what? Only 35 bill of revenue? Damn. Jesus Christ. 2 years to make about 35 bill. I mean, look, so there is something called ROI and like return on investment. How long is it going to take for your investment to actually, you know, make you money? Like, how much time will it take to make back this 560 bill? 35 billion over here in 2 years, like that would make it. So if we were just to like do a quick ROI, so 560 divided by 35, 560 divided by 35. Okay, that's 16. So that's 2 years. Like this is wrong because they expect the this 35 to go up. Um, so that would be times two. So that would take 32 years at the current rate to recuperate to make a return on your investment. That's fucking crazy. So this would have to like quadruple. Microsoft AI revenue in 2025, 13 billion, with 10 billion from OpenAI, sold at heavily discounted rate that essentially only covers costs for operating the servers. Jesus Christ. Microsoft. That's fucking crazy. Capital expenditures 80 billion. That's fucking crazy. So the 10 billion of revenue, or 10 billion of it comes from OpenAI's spend on so OpenAI's spending on Microsoft and that's what's making them money? Holy shit. Holy shit. So 77% of Microsoft's AI revenue comes from OpenAI. So they're making nothing on it right now. Well, okay. So is this a GPU bubble or an AI bubble? This almost seems like a GPU bubble to me. Yeah. Holy shit. Amazon's the same way. Yeah. Well, so here's the thing. What about? Well, okay, but Microsoft, do they even have a foundation model? Google does. I don't know if Amazon does. Holy shit! Only 7.7. I don't even need to fucking like read this. This is fucking crazy. Jesus fucking Christ. Meta's AI 72 billion. Holy shit. Holy shit. And Tesla doesn't make any money. Let me see. Yeah, they didn't want to do that. I'm not saying that the Mag 7's going to die, just that their spending on GPUs how dictate how stable the US stock market would be. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. So I could see there, that's an interesting idea. So right now there's this like there's some people comparing it to like .com, but like let's say there is a bubble with this GPU shit. I could see it reverberating to the rest of the US stock market too. Because like we have this weird system in the US that I don't think people like so much where essentially for you to beat inflation, in order for you to save money, you have to beat inflation. In order for you to beat inflation, you have to put your money in assets. Um, if you want to put your money in assets, you probably want to put your money in stable assets. That means probably the S&P 500 for the most part. Modi, go to your crate. Go to your crate. Go to your crate. You are such a barker. Okay. So then, so that's interesting. So that could impact people's retirements quite a lot. And like, there's obviously like a reason that capital. Oh God, I don't like using that term generically, but whatever, I'll use it anyways. Capital's interested in that, um, but whatever. Um, so this could impact people's retirements, which then impacts their spendings, and because we are so top heavy right now with, I mean, like poor people, like young people just don't have as money as old people do. Um, I could see that reverberate through the entire economy. Um, Also, my understanding is that as of now ish, Like because we have more old people than we do young people, we're slowly getting it to be the case where people are pulling, where there are more people pulling money out of retirement related accounts than there are people putting money into retirement related accounts. So what happens if they decide to pull it all at the same time because they are scared of crazy shit happening? So that is something to think about as well inside of here. Yeah, in the event that any one of these companies makes significant changes to their investments in NVIDIA chips, yeah, this is right. So it just takes one of these guys to decide that this is not worth their spending. And they will at some point. But the question is when. Because either they make money somehow from this AI stuff, which like maybe they could do foundation models or something. Um, but I don't know. Like I don't know about asset pricing. I don't know how long it would take for this to kick into effect. Like, part of this could just be that they're trying to inflate their own stock prices with the AI stuff. Yeah. Worse still, these services, while losing these companies massive amounts of money, don't produce much real revenue. Um, Holy shit. I'm getting bots in my chat channel for kick. That's funny. Well, that makes sense, right? Very new channel, so of course they target me. But Ed, they said something about the point of growth, the growth from AI, blah 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 blah. They'd be in your ear hole. They're not. They're not rolling in cash, and the fact that they're blowing nearly $100 billion to release massive reason. Watch the hands. He's going to say that they're going to get growth from AI, unless they show you the growth in numerator hand waving. AWS took years to become profitable. People said Amazon would fail. I don't know much about AWS, but I guess that makes sense. AWS ran at a loss for ages. Um, Amazon did lose a lot of money, and it was expensive. I never really had anyone explain this point to me, so I'm finally going to sit down and deal with this criticism because every single person who mentions it thinks they just pulled some Excalibur from stone and can now decapitate me. They claim that because people in the past out at Amazon, because or in addition to the burn rate of Amazon Web Services as a company built out its infrastructure, that I too am wrong, and because they were wrong about that. This isn't Camelot, you rube. You are not King Arthur. Ha ha ha. I will address this argument and the they part of it too, because the argument is that if people got AWS wrong, then you shouldn't trust them. Well, but here's the thing. Um, so I think, as far as I can tell, like at a certain point, you just don't need to continue with this capital expenditure into NVIDIA. Like I understand why they are putting this much money into it, but at a certain point that stops, and then the Nvidia stock drops a little bit more, and then that could have some kind of reverberating impact for it. So, yeah, right. So now they're going to talk about Amazon. Let's go back to 1999, called Amazon.bomb, how they were marking Amazon for being wrong, which is profitable. Amazon Web Services didn't launch until 2006, and Amazon would only become reliably profitable in 2003. Technically, Amazon had opened up their Amazon Web Services for developers to incorporate their content into their application in 2002, but what we consider AWS today, storage and compute launched in 2006. But okay, what did she actually say? Unfortunately for Bezos, Amazon is now entering a stage in which investors will be less willing to rely on his charisma and more demanding of tough answers to questions like when will this company actually turn a profit? Blah 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 blah. We tried to ask Bezos, didn't make a comment or whatever. Amazon posted a loss, blah, blah, blah. Amazon was burning cash, had a ton of competition for other people doing similar things, and other analysts backed her up. In simpler terms, Amazon's business model was in question. People were buying shit online. In fact, this was before the dot-com bubble burst, where optimization at the head was a wide point. Yet the comparison stops there. People obviously like buying shit online. It was the business models of many of these companies, like Webvan, that sucked. Okay. Well, that's interesting. Once Walmart decides to go after Amazon, there's no contest. Yeah, I mean, okay, okay. Let's talk about AWS. How long is this fucking article? This better be like 90% comments. Holy shit, this article's long as fuck. Holy shit, this article's long as fuck. This guy's a real hater. This guy's a real hater. Alright, I'm gonna try and get through as much as I can. But I also do have to walk my dog. Oh, nope, I guess it didn't show me for whatever reason. 2015 is the year Amazon Web Services became profitable. Yep, it created a capital expenditure. I'm gonna have to skim through a lot of this stuff. Amazon spent 6.76 in today money on AWS, assuming this much every year, which it wasn't. It took 67.6 billion in 10 years of pure capital expenditures to turn it into a business that now generates billions of dollars a quarter in profit. Okay, 15.4 billion less than Amazon's capital expenditures for 2024, and less than 1/15th of its projected capex spend for 2025. Um, oh, so over 10 years they spent like way fucking more. Holy shit. Generative AI and large language models do not resemble AWS web services. So, like, they're just debating it because this is generative AI, it's not infrastructure. So he's just trying to defeat the AWS argument here because he's so annoyed with it. Um, yeah, companies built on top of large language models don't make money. Outside of Midjourney, most of them aren't profitable. OpenAI, Anthropic, and AnySphere, which makes AI coding app Cursor. There are no large language model companies that make more than $500 million in annualized revenue. Um, and Perplexity, which announced another, it's at 150 million annual ARR. Okay. There are only 12 generative AI powered companies making 100 million in annualized revenue per month. Okay. Okay. So, how do we square the bubble here? I do think that there's going to be software devs who make really, really powerful products with generative AI, but it is the case at the same time that some of these foundational companies need to make more money, which means they might have to raise prices. I'm not sure. We'll see. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Chump change. Yeah, yeah. So this is going to be weird, but I wonder if you could embed ads into AI. People would spend a fuck ton of money if you could do that into the foundation models themselves. You could maybe make money that way. I don't want to give them crazy ideas. Cursor's growth, unsustainable business model. Yep, restricted acquisition rate limits. It's horribly unprofitable. Yeah, it was earned with a profit. It no longer offers. Anthropic and OpenAI raise their prices, increasing Cursor's costs. Yep, I remember this. I know I've been hit by it. Blah, blah, blah. Cursor matters. Generative AI. Yeah, so this is a good point. If Cursor, which is like really important for software development for AI stuff, if it doesn't have a good business model that doesn't work, then like that means that a lot of generative AI stuff just doesn't have a business model that works. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Yeah. I'd like to see the numbers behind this stuff. So AI costs a fuck ton of money for compute itself. Or maybe right now it's artificially low. Well, okay, well, you do a fuck ton of capital expenditure right now. These companies lose a lot of money right now because they're doing stupid bubble stuff, like Amazon, Meta, or whatever. And then at some point in the future, what happens is they still have these like GPUs that exist. They have to use them, and things probably get ridiculously cheap because the companies are comparing with each other, competing with each other to run certain models, and they want you to choose their GPUs instead of the other company's GPUs. I'm assuming that they're like renting them out. Maybe, maybe. I don't know. Where the consumer AI startups, Perplexity, they're upset because it lost money. Yeah, has no profitable path profitability. It's just a search engine. Maybe let me become profitable and appeared to experience stroke. Maybe let me give you another example. Instagram, and you want to look at ads done by similar brands, pull that, study that, or look at AdWords pricing of hundreds of different keywords and figure out how to price your thing competitively. These are tasks that could definitely save you hours and maybe even give you an arbitrage over what you do because AI is so much more and at scale. So I think we're going to be able to monetize in many more interesting ways than chatbots for the browser. Yeah, this AI browser thing, I didn't understand it, but whatever. The generative AI software as a service market is small with little growth room right now and no profits. Yep. Oh, yeah, so Glean is something super interesting. I really like this for my own work personally. Cash on hand with best in class ARR both. Billion blank based on quarters. Another funding round, this time for 150 million. Surpassed blank. 5 months into the fucking year and your monthly revenue is the same. That isn't good. That isn't good at all. I mean, like if you're trying to build some crazy fucking thing. Now it's raise and blank. Uh, uh, uh. I really like Clean. I really like Glenn. Glenn is fun. Glenn is cool, but it seems like they're having some problems too. So Glenn, it allows you to like search. So let's say you have a company, your company does things. It's hard to find information in your company because you don't know who owns a particular piece of software at your company, and there's a problem with it. You could use Glenn to ask Glenn, "Hey, who owns this thing?" and it will tell you information about that. I find it really useful at my work. I really quite like it. Um, okay. There are no unique generative AI companies, and building a moat based on technology is near impossible. Okay. The generative AI companies do a chatbot, searching, summarizing, or comparing documents with increasing amount of complexity of documents or quantity of documents to be compared. Yep, yep. I've been called out. I've been called out. This is part of what I do. Web search, deep research. This is also something I do. Or I'm not thinking about doing generative text to images. But here's the thing: I'm not trying to make some like I don't think I want to build some like huge like I'm not trying to become a billionaire, right? I want to build a cool product if I make money because of it, right? That'd be cool. If I don't make money and it fails, I've learned something. That's life. I don't do any of these stuff here, like transcription, translation, AI. Every single Gen AI company does one of these two things, and I mean every one of them because it's an inherent generative AI that uses large language models, which have inherent limits on what they do. Uh, LLMs can generate, search, they can edit and transcribe, sometimes accurately, and they can translate sometimes. It's very difficult for a company to build something unique. Cursor is ultimately system prompts. I don't know if this is right. I don't think the psychology of this is right for thinking about like users. Uh, People like Cursor because it's really useful to use, and that actually really matters. Um, Design is not a moat, especially in a high cost net negative processing where your only way of growing is to offer a product you can't sustain. What do you mean design is not a moat? So they're saying that differences between within weeks of Cursor's change to its services, Amazon and ByteDance release competitors that do the same thing. There's a differences between how they're designed, but design is not a moat. Is not a moat. So I guess they mean like how things look. Um, I don't know. I mean, like, couldn't you make the same case for like Amazon just purchasing stuff on Amazon from vendors um initially like sorry, the initial model for purchasing things on Amazon from people like you could make the argument that the website is just like a design for people to like interact. Ah, no, that argument kind of falls apart. I mean, like, here's the thing. I do think this UI stuff, the design really does actually matter for building good products. Like, people cannot, there's a reason why um, Vim, as much as people love it, it's not like widely used by everybody in the industry. And that's just purely a design thing. That's it. Even though it might be better technically, it's just a design thing. Or NeoVim or whatever. The only moat you can build is the services you provide. Yeah, yeah. And then Anthropic and OpenAI could just clone your thing. Nobody else has any ideas either. Yep, 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 yep. Can you build any good companies with large language models? No. That's what they're saying. In previous tech booms, companies would make their own models. Blah, 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 blah. Everybody builds stuff on top of other people's models because training your own models is extremely expensive and requires a vast amounts of infrastructure. Like, yeah, okay. And getting other companies to build functional software for them. Yep, yep, yep. Jesus Christ. Jesus fucking Christ, that's fucked up. I didn't realize that. Anthropic cut off access to AI coding platform Windsurf because it looked like it might get acquired by OpenAI. That's pretty fucked. Limited use cases are because large language models really are similar. Generative AI is simply too expensive to build a sustainable business on top of it right now. Right now. Right now. Yes. Yes. Companies are using the term agent to deceive customers and investors. But Ed, what about agents? Yeah, agents are a bit fraud like. Okay, I got only like 15 more minutes. I gotta like zoom past this. Yes, agent is something that can do it without oversight. Uh, Agent Force, which lets you deploy AI agent at scale, bring digital labor to every employee, department, and business process. It's a blatant fucking lie. Agent Force is a goddamn chatbot platform. It's for launching chatbots, and they can sometimes plug into APIs that allow them to access other information, but they are neither autonomous nor agents by any reasonable definition. Yeah, there's like too much agent hype. That's true. That's true. Not only does Salesforce not actually sell agents, its own research shows that agents achieve only around a 58% success rate on single step tasks, meaning to quote the register, tasks that can be completed in a single step without needing to follow up. So, like, this is something that can be improved. Like, might be difficult to improve it, but you got to start somewhere, and it's going to be shit at first. So, it is just shit at first. Like, yes, so they are saying, here's what this thing does. But, like, are they saying this is like. I think the blurred line is between what it does right now and what it's going to do in the future, or what they think it's going to do in the future, I should say. It's like they'll make this hype claim about it doing all this crazy shit. But really, they just mean in the future it's going to do all this crazy shit. And maybe it will, but maybe it won't at the same time. OpenAI had their agent. I didn't look at it very much. Yeah, the agent took 21 or so minutes to plan out a wedding with destination, a vague calendar, blah 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 blah. The agent took 23 minutes and arguably produced the most confusing looking map I've seen in my life. Yeah. Like, of course it's shit at first. Like, I don't know what to tell you. This was the pre-prepared example. Agents are difficult. Look, there's too much hype about agents. Like, it's something that's going to matter in the long term, right? But right now, every single one, yes, it is. Like they're overhyped. ServiceNow, AI agents, agent. Everybody's losing money on generative AI. Nobody's making a profit. Hey, it's okay, buddy. It's okay. It's okay, puppy. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. You're a good boy. Yep. There are the generative AI industry, OpenAI and Anthropic. Yeah. They lose billions of dollars after revenue. They don't mimic anything in history. Yeah. SoftBank. Holy shit. So the bank itself is putting itself in dire straits to fund OpenAI at once. It's taking on multiple loans to fund the remaining 30 billion of OpenAI's 40 billion round, which it has yet to close, and OpenAI is still racing. This is before you consider the other 19 billion SoftBank has contributed to the Stargate data center project. OpenAI has promised 19 billion to the Stargate data center project. With it does not have and it cannot get without SoftBank's funds. Holy shit. OpenAI must convert to a for-profit by the end of 2025 or it loses 20 billion of the remaining 30 billion of funding. If it does not convert by October 2026, the current funding converts to debt. Is this I don't understand that. Yep. 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 Some Microsoft stuff. OpenAI does not have a profit to profitability, does not have a path to profitability like Anthropic. Uh, is and like Anthropic is dependent on a continual flow of capital from VCs and big tech. Like, yeah, right now that's the case. Maybe at some point they come up with a better model. I don't know. This is good points, right? So I guess one of the things DeepSeek showed us is that there are significant gains to be made with optimization with large language models. And I think that right now, I'm wondering if part of the reason why all of this is such a problem right now is because we just haven't optimized these things yet. So we're going all in on GPUs because we have the money right now. Um, but so it's like okay, do we want to increase the amount of like hardware or do we want to improve the software? And it seems like a lot of the work is being done on the hardware side of things when it comes to cost. Uh, it seems like they're really betting. So for the software side of things, they're definitely trying to build stuff that they think will be useful in the future, but they aren't trying to optimize existing costs. And they just like from a business perspective, they don't need to right now. Um, so I mean that makes sense, right? That makes sense. Okay. These aren't desperate companies. They're like, yes, they're doing stupid fucking shit. Yes, they're doing stupid fucking shit. The two companies that are amount to about half of all generative AI intelligence revenue are only losing money. Like, yes, they are. And it's stupid. But they haven't been incentivized, as far as I can tell, by industry to really try to optimize their software so they aren't spending billions of dollars. There's no real AI adoption, nor is there any significant revenue. Uh, Nobody's really using it as much as they want. Yeah, because the products are shit. Generative AI does something. Yes, this is true. It's marketed based on lies about things that aren't the way they work right now. Yes, agent is bullshit most of the time. AI replacing jobs. So, I do think I don't know. I just see too much usage for AI replacing jobs. I do think it'll happen, but I don't think that I don't think there's a way we figure out how to make it happen yet in a way that's really profitable. Yeah, AGI is like, yeah, it's a generic word. Singularity is a manipulative word. Yep, it's a hype word. Yep, yep, yep. This is the big point. This is completely true. The AI trade is entirely about GPUs and is incredibly brittle as a result. Yes. 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 I'm alarmed. Yeah. Yeah. Was a blank. This bubble is entirely symbolic. Yeah. 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 Yes. Yes. The AI trade exists based on the continued and continually increasing scale and use of GPUs. There are limited amounts of capital, but also limited amounts of data centers to actually put GPUs. And on top of that, at some point, growth will slow at one of the Mag 7, at which point costs will have to come down from things that lose them tons of money, such as generative AI. Okay, cost of inference is going down. So I guess, yeah, he's thinking exactly what I was thinking before. Um, Look, I don't think there's a business reason for it to, and that's why it's not happening. So he's right. Right now, it's not, but there just isn't a business reason for it. Yep, custom chips might help out. I don't know much about this. I don't. I only got so much time left before I need to walk my dog. I don't like what's happening. I don't like telling you about how brittle things are. The rot economy thesis, growth at all costs mindset has driven every top company to improve these numbers. Generative, even if their products suck, deeply profitable, or yep. The rot economy is general AI models or specifically GPUs. Blah 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 blah. Okay, somehow we made it to the end of this. I gotta go walk my dog because it's his time to go walk. It's like people I meet at the dog park at like a certain time in the day, and I gotta get out at that time. Um, Overall, I would say I mean I didn't go too into the woods for it. Tonally, right? Not exactly my vibe. Um, but I get it, right? There's so much bullshit in the AI space, and it's very brittle right now. I think that market forces could correct these issues. But the question is, can market forces correct these issues before there's a big blow up, before there's a big pop? Um, or even if they could make it so that this pop is more soft. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I mean, it could be the case. It could really be the case that the U.S. economy um, just gets totally fucked by this. Um, yeah, some big crash could happen because of this shit. I mean, it could be the case, right? We already talked about the retirement stuff, so I don't know. I don't know. I gotta go walk my dog. We'll see you guys later. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.